World Teachers Day. That actually started way back in 1944 by the United Nations, or UNESCO, as they're popularly known, to actually celebrate them and also to lay emphasis on the kind of job they do, the challenges. They're nation builders, no doubt about it. And we're being joined today by Dr. Vera James. She's an education management expert, and we'll be talking more on this particular profession as it is in Nigeria. And also we'll be joined by Skype by Moses Ahime Fula Okara. He's the principal of Mount Olive College, Umunya, in Anambra State. As soon as he joins us via Skype, of course, we'll be talking to him. But let's start with Dr. Vera James. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. A former Turkish president actually said teachers are like the candle that consumes itself to light the way for others. Based on that, we look at the profession in Nigeria, and you want to ask, is this a time for celebration or for sober reflection?
Wow. Well, for me, I would say it's a time for celebration.
Okay.
While I agree that there's some form of mixed feelings, because of course Nigeria hasn't, we as teachers have not been given priority. I agree. But why I have decided to celebrate myself today and other teachers, especially Nigerian teachers, is that teachers, they did the imaginable during the coronavirus pandemic. I mean, the lockdown and all of that, So whether or not everybody thinks that we don't deserve to be celebrated, whether or not the government or whoever makes decisions, policies for teachers in Nigeria, even if they think that teachers are not as important as they are, I would say that the Nigerian teacher deserves every celebration today. Because indeed, learning was not lost. I mean, to a very large extent, during the pandemic, teachers just started creating things, teaching children online. Some teachers had to go, different levels of technology. Some went WhatsApp.
The whole virtual learning.
I'm telling you, some teachers had to do virtual WhatsApp classes. I'm not talking about those who use the Microsoft Teams.
But I want to ask, what kept them going? Because they're the ones that had hit by the pandemic, because schools were on lockdown.
And some of them weren't even paid.
Till now, many of them are not even being paid.
I would say what kept them, okay, I've had conversations. I'm a teacher myself, and I've had conversations with teachers in the past months. And I can say this, it might sound like a cliche or something, but it is not. Teachers have been doing what they had to do because of passion, the love for the children. The truth is this. Sometimes, even as a parent, I'm a parent as well, I know that I can really get on the nerves of my children's teachers. And that's the truth. That's the truth, But the truth is, I see genuine love. My children's teachers love my children, and they love every child in their classroom. And I see it evident in the way they react. Sometimes you call up. I remember that many teachers were called up at as bad as 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., parents asking, how do we navigate this? How do we do this? How do we do that? And you would see teachers going the extra mile, ensuring learning continues to take place. So for me, it's not about salary, because the truth is, most schools, I can say this categorically, that a good number of schools went paid half the salary.
Some even didn't get at all.
Some didn't get at all.
No,
So I would just say it's the love for the children, love for the job, and the fact that teachers are, I would just call them super people. That's
interesting.
The truth. Yeah.
But you can't I don't know if Moses is joining us now, but you can't remember the fact that some of the teachers today got into the profession per chance. And the fact that there was a certain administration, was that of Olusegun Obasanjo, that had to force onto a core member. The next thing is that they throw you into teaching. And some people felt that was where our problem started, where we never had people that went all out to say, yes, I want to go into the whole NC. I remember then my auntie NC looked like she was a PhD holder. You guys are having now, Was that the root cause of the problem? And do we still see this profession as noble the way it was during the British, colonial era?
Well, truth is, I would say that this profession remains noble. Now, the next question would be, do we still see it as? I may not be able to give a one-size-fits-all answer on this. But the truth is, it is not taking its place. Okay, let me use that word. The profession is not taking its place at this time, and that's because of, I would not blame Obasanjo or whoever, the copper goat teacher and all that, because of course there was a problem then, and we needed people. But the truth is, beyond that, there's still unemployment in Nigeria. And that is why many people would say, I would rather, okay, I get this many times, please, I need any job, even if it is teaching job.
Yeah.
You know,
They feel like that's the last resort.
Yes, yes. So that is dependent on many factors. The fact that even the profession is not highly rated in Nigeria.
Okay.
You would hardly hear a parent who would say, agree. Just a few of us as teachers who want our children to be teachers. I don't mind that.
All right.
But many people...
okay, we have Moses Ahemfula Okara, the principal of Mount Olive College, Umunya, from Anambra State, joining us via Skype. I do understand that he's has connected to us. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
We are fine, and thank you very much for joining us.
Happy Teachers Day.
Happy Teachers Day.
Thank you. Oh yes, I really want to opportunity to wish my colleagues happy World Teachers Day.
Okay.
It is please may I also use the opportunity to thank my teachers, those that made me who I am today. Right from my days way back at in Lagos, Bola Memorial Primary School, and also Victory High School in Lagos. I'm a proud Victorian, and I'm really proud of my teachers. And yesterday was my proprietor's birthday, my school where I finished from Victory High School. And it was really awesome. I'm coming together with him and having a nice time with him. Thank you.
Let's be picking up from there. You talk about how you are proud of your teachers, you know, from way back. Now, we see a situation where
Yes,
even
please.
teachers are the ones organizing extra centers for students, writing work and the rest. Is it a case of their hands being tied? They have to go through what the school management wants, or we are losing out in, you know, the sacredness, so to speak, of the profession?
Thank you very much. I think we are losing out in the main thing here. Because just like what my colleague said there, it is the passion. It is the passion. And unfortunately, the passion is no longer there. Everyone wants quick money. We want to see how we can make money. Nobody wants to take teaching as a profession again. Nobody wants to see teaching as a job that they want to do passionately. And just like what she said, I've been opportune to interview so many teachers. And the last question I do put across to them, if you get any other job, will you leave the profession? Your dream job, sorry to say. And oh yes, I will leave. And that's because teaching is not their first priority.
It's not.
They just want to use teaching just to while away time. And as such, the passion is not really there again. You and I know that someone probably studied engineering, and the next thing for him to be qualified as a teacher is just to go and do PGD education. And even the PGD education, chances are he won't even follow through all the system in terms of going to school. I did teaching practice when I was in my year 3 years. I did it in my final year. I did diploma. I read education. I am a breed education. Education, so to speak. But the issue now is that we don't have teachers who are passionate, and as such, they want big money. How much are you paying them in the first place? And as such, they want to make quick money. So it is not a question of teachers doing it for the passion, but because they want to see how they can get easy way out and make quick money out of the whole thing.
Let's stay with you, Mr. Ahemfula. Is the problem, another of the issue, does it have to do with the fact that, like in the past, where teachers are very proud of their students, they see them come out, they become something in life and other. But these days, it seems that we don't see such, that most students are not really interested in, lauding their teachers or giving much credit to the teachers. After they are done and dusted, they just they just leave and nothing else. Would you say that is part of the problem?
Not really, not really. And I don't agree with you with that, because it would be unfair for a student to pass through a teacher without acknowledging the effort of that teacher. It really be unfair. And sometimes why that happens is because those teachers will just help them out with the easy way out, Teaching is not all about helping a child to pass through school. It's about molding characters in these students, really. That's what it's all about, really, molding characters in these students. And it's not all about that, really, if you ask me.
Let's come back to Dr. Vera in the studio. Please hang on, Moses. We're talking about the SDG 4 aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. How enabled are educators or teachers, in this time and age, and where do you come in as an education consultant?
Okay, so inclusion is it's a big thing, and I think we're just scratching the surface right now. You find children who try to get admission into school and they tell you, oh no, we don't want this child because the child is probably has a learning difficulty or something. So that is still a problem. However, there are some very I really, because I haven't done any, I don't have the statistics for this now, and I don't like to always say things from one side. Some very fantastic and big schools are really working very well towards inclusion. So you see physical structure ready for inclusion. You see teachers trained. We have several trainings on dyslexia, ADHD. There are many trainings like that, but usually for those teachers and pupils in eyebrow schools. Okay. But the ones in the public sector right now, apart from some states, I don't want to mention any name, yeah. But apart from some teachers don't even understand, they don't even know, they cannot even identify that this child has a learning difficulty, but we need to help the child. But I always like to give credit to some teachers, because the truth is I've seen very quality teachers, and this is not because they are. Thank you. It's not because they are in a very facilitative environment, but they have gone out of their way. And I'll give kudos to teachers who run things like WhatsApp groups. There are some very funny ones, but I can attest to the fact that there are quite a number doing things, training free every time for their colleagues. Now, they might not be experts, but they have an idea of how to reach out to a child who has a bit of a learning difficulty. And, so I would say that we're scratching the surface, but we're getting there. Okay,
I want to go back to Mr. Okara in Anambra State. Are you still with us, Mr. Moses? Are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Looking at it, the emergence of technology, most people will feel that it was supposed to help, the teachers, impact more learning on students. But would you say that has been on the positive or the negative? Because in the past, I was born in the 80s. The teachers was all and all. But these days, even some students will say they will claim that they know more than the teachers because of they can actually research and do things by themselves. Would you say that technology are really hampered on the teaching profession, so to speak?
Positive. I'm a fan of technology being a positive effect on students and teaching generally. And let me also add here that my school, Mount Olive College, was awarded the best when it comes to online teaching here in Anambra State. Because when this pandemic came up, what we did as a school first was to train our teachers on the use of online technology. And we had about 7 or 8 different platforms that we trained our teachers on. And at the end of the day, we used 3 platforms just to effectively carry out the teaching, online teaching, really. The fact is that online teaching and technology has come to stay. We can't be neglected, and we can't go back to online teaching or technology generally. The world is revolving. The world is moving very fast. Many of our students, they finish from here, go abroad, and they cannot really cope. I'll give you an example. I went with my students last year to Dubai. We went on an educational tour to Dubai last year, and we went to 3 schools, GEM schools in Dubai. We had normal classes with them. Do you know, year 7 students over there in Dubai were the ones teaching my year 12 students technology. Year 7, they taught them robotic, movie making, and the rest. That is technology. We just have to face the fact that technology has come to stay in this country. And it's just for teachers to upgrade
here. We
themselves.
also had a teaching, are you here? We had a situation where a certain state, ministry had to do a test for teachers.
Hello.
We had so many of them failing. Now, these teachers, the ones that are present now, are from the Stone Age, so to speak. How have they been integrated to understand that I don't want to use what individual children are now more smarter, that they can use these devices more? Because we're talking about the topic, which is reimagining, the future and ensuring that no child is left behind. Sure. I wanted to really know how people in that area, the East and other suburbs, how they were able to cope during the pandemic. But because some of us think life starts and ends in Lagos, in the city. So how was it there in Anambra State, especially in areas where, broadband penetration is not really top-notch?
Exactly.
Well, for us, we are lucky because our school is a private school, and we can say we have the technology, we have what it came from the South. I came from the South. I've taught in top schools in Nigeria before coming down to the East. So I brought that experience, I brought that technology. And one thing again, I must also appreciate the state government here because what they did, they had what they call online learning, radio on all the TV station and radio station owned by the states, at least about 2 or 3 hours on a daily basis, going through online classes for the students. Yes, it may not be that effective compared to what other some private schools did really, but they did something. And I know for government alone cannot really handle it. What we did here in my school, all the community schools around, local schools around, what we did initially, we trained some teachers on the use of computers. Because if you leave government alone, trust me, things will not happen. It will not. And we took up that upon ourselves as our social responsibility to see how we can help schools around. I want to believe also that private hands need to come into this and see how they can help out. If you want to leave this for teachers, for government alone to go to rural areas, trust me, nothing will happen. It will not.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, but we want to say thank you to...
We're talking about leaving no child behind, and we're always talking about private. What is the place of the public school student? Because we're still going to come into the same society. That's why it seems that when you're finishing all you're done with all of the training, some people are still like a problem to the society. And we're talking about the SDG, achieving it
but we'll have to let
Mr.
Moses Alkara for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. He's the principal of Mount
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
In Anambra State. We want to appreciate your own contribution as we celebrate the World Teachers Day. Thank you very much. Okay, let's wrap it up with Dr. Vera James. Another thing you have to look at before we close shop, it's the whole Nigerian Union of Teachers statement about retirement age. They want it to move from 60 to 65. Are you in support of that? Because I felt that why not just retire 60 and rest? Well, why do you want it at 65?
I think my response to this will be somehow strange. I've had a professor while I was when I was on my PhD program, who even at the year of retirement was still very, very strong and still had a lot to give back to the education system.
Okay.
I personally, this is just my personal opinion, like you asked me for my personal opinion, I didn't want him to go. A good number of us didn't want him to go because he had so much. Now we still have those who are just about maybe 56, 57, and they're not giving as much as me. So I don't really understand this age thing, really. I'm not a fan of age.
He's supposed to transfer his knowledge before leaving.
Yeah, he did. He has people, good people, and all of that. But the truth is,
but at the end of the day, he has to retire.
He has to retire. Yeah. So I whether 60, whether 65, I'm not going to say anything about it. But
addressing public school and their shortcomings.
What I would just say is, if you cannot deliver, please go. Even if you are 28.
All right.
I don't even care. If you cannot deliver, excuse us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vera James. She's an education management expert. Of course, by the way, when you say doctor, you know that she's the PhD in that affair. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll keep on celebrating.
Happy Teachers Day to all of my colleagues over the world, and to my teachers especially. Thank you so much.